This is a story of a man-boy named Gary. Gary has just graduated from high school, where he lived a single most mundane high school life anyone could have ever lived. Gary's high school life was simple. He went to school in the morning and came back home in the evening. Gary decided to not go to a university, but rather spend the rest of his life slouching over his laptop, daydreaming about what he could have achieved if it wasn't for the mother for you Rogers, who basically ruined his entire social life in his high school years. Or at least, that's what he thinks.
Who's saying that?
Moving on, Gary got out of his bed and got a nice warm shower to start off a beautiful morning, only to realize that the hot water ran out.
God!
Gary wore a t-shirt which he thought was cool and a pair of sports pants, for a pair of jeans could not fit him. At first, Gary felt confused at a random voice that narrated every single action he made. But as he got used to it, the confusion was replaced with irritation. Gary arrived at a coffee shop where him and his friends planned to meet on the previous day. Then it dawned on him, does my friends hear this voice too? As Gary tried to ask his friends about the mysterious voice in the air replied, "No, you idiot!" Gary and his friends were going to watch a movie, which was something uncommon for Gary. As Gary and his friends finished the movie and was having an intellectual debate about the endings of the movie, Gary was nodding along with Mindy as she was the smartest in the group, and Gary had no idea what his friends were talking about. As Gary's friends were talking about what they were up to during weekend, Gary was staring at Mindy. I wish I could stroke her hair with my hand while she's lying beside me, thought Gary. Gary felt that his privacy was invaded, but soon began to think about Mindy's gorgeous eyes, then her chubby nose, then her plump cheeks, and her delicious Oh, what the
Stop!
shouted Gary to the voice, which seemed odd to his friends. Gary got hold of himself and remembered that the voice could only be heard by him and that he must have looked like an uneducated retard for rudely interrupting his friend's conversation. Just then, Lon asked Gary what he was up to during the weekend. Gary couldn't say a single word as he spent all of his weekend in front of his laptop drooling over anatomically disproportionate blue-haired cybergirl, which Gary called Miku-chan. That is when Gary realized he never made an appointment with his friends to go and watch movies for the past 7 years. The last time he asked someone to go watch a movie with him was the last time he ever talked with girls. In fact, Gary realized he never had friends to hang out with in the first place. Gary realized it was all a daydream and accepted the bitter truth that it was impossible for him to even afford a movie ticket in the first place. Just then, Gary thought about the voice again and was very annoyed at how he was narrating his every thoughts.
Stop it! Who are you? Where is this voice coming from?
I was standing here the whole time, you idiot. Anyway, the moral of the story is, stop fantasizing about your life in a perfect scenario while staring at an animated fictional girl for hours. Don't be like Gary. Life is short. Go outside. Enjoy.